Hello, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for being here. All right, so let's begin our practice. So we'll begin as we always begin. We can take our thumbs, tuck them into our fingers, and let our hands rest on our thighs. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes and just take a couple moments to arrive here. And we can facilitate that arrival by bringing our awareness to the three treasures. Beginning with the body and an awareness of our alignment within gravity, an awareness of our alignment between the heavens above and the earth below. And if you can, just allow yourself to feel the weight of your body. And allow that weight and that heaviness to help to ground you. And whether that's grounding you into the earth, grounding you into your seat, grounding you into this moment. And as you settle into your body, you may notice an awareness of your breath. And so just noticing that you are breathing and just notice what it feels like to breathe and to be breathed. And I always appreciate playing with the different sensations, the different intentions of taking a breath and receiving a breath. And as you're noticing your body and your breath, you can notice the focus of your mind, or even how, when the focus is on the body and the breath, how it seems like the mind isn't even there. I have one teacher who likes to say that in the present moment, the mind does not exist. And so while maintaining this awareness of our bodies, our breaths, and the focus or quality of the mind, let's do our self-massage. So we can bring our hands together when you're ready and rubbing them together, continuing to breathe. And then a nice deep breath in. Shake it out. And then rub your palms together again, maybe generating some warmth in the palms. So I really like these self-massages, especially nowadays, because we're all somewhat touch deprived. But, you know, when we think about what we're composed of, like sunlight and food that we didn't probably more often than not grow ourselves, there are a lot of other people involved in all of the things that contribute to make us what we are. So touching ourselves is kind of like being touched by everyone else. So let's begin by massaging our faces, up and out. And just taking the time to just feel what it feels like to be touched. And touched in a way that feels good and appropriate and safe. And when you're ready, take a nice deep breath in and out. And rubbing the palms together. Breathing. And then we can run our fingers over our scalps, front to back or back and forth, or any other way that feels good to you. There may be one way that feels particularly good. Maybe every way feels good. There's no one way about it. And again, when you're ready, a deep breath in and out. Rubbing the palms together. Breathing with the whole body. And then let's take our palms, cup them over our eyes. Gentle pressure to the eye sockets. And again, when you're ready, a nice deep breath in and shake it out. And rubbing the palms together. And take your time as you rub your palms together. Use some intention as you do it. See what happens when you bring intention into what you're doing. And then let's activate the acupoint, yin tong. So taking the base of the left hand in between the eyebrows and just gently drawing the hand across and off to the side, and doing the same thing with the other side. And just take your time. And feel free to adjust this as needed so that it feels good or that it feels purposeful. We're stimulating the acupoint yin tong, the chamber of authenticity. We're kind of cleaning the windshield of our forehead, stimulating the third eye, just tuning into our frontal lobes. Our capacity to see. And it's interesting to think about, like, what is it to see? It's more than just sight, more than just looking, but seeing. And one more time with whichever hand. And take a nice deep breath in and out. Gently rubbing the hands together. Feeling the alignment of your body. Breathing through that alignment. Focusing the mind. And then let's take the edge of our thumbs on either side of our noses and massage up and down. Breathing through the nose, stimulating the sinuses. And then again, deep breath in and out. Rubbing the palms together and breathing. And then let's take the tips of our thumbs on either side of our nose, one hand below, one hand above, or either side of our mouth, one hand above and below, and then massage back and forth. Use whatever speed you'd like. Sometimes it feels good to go fast. Sometimes it feels good to go slow. And again, deep breath in and out. Rubbing the palms together, breathing. And now we can take our hands over our ears and make forward circles. Deep breath in and out. Rubbing the palms together. And we'll do our self-shoulder massage, beginning with the left arm up to the right shoulder. And let gravity do most of the work. Just being easy and gentle. No hurry. There's nowhere to go. and nothing to do. We're there already, and we're already doing it. We're already breathing. We already have a body that's aligned within gravity. We already have a mind that's focusing on something. All we have to do is just notice and be aware of what is already happening. Let's do one more on each side. Deep breath in and out. Rubbing the palms together. And let's open our chests. So right fingertips together into a little beak. Find the bottom of the left collarbone and slide out into the hollow space. And then left fingertips, the bottom of the right rib cage, and slide down, falling into another hollow space, and then gently tapping these two areas. Feel free to look around with your fingertips as you tap. See if you find a spot in each one of these spots that feels distinct. You may find something, you may not. If you don't find something, just feel what you don't feel. And as you're feeling these two areas where you're tapping, whether it's a distinct sensation or not, I'm sure you can feel the tapping. See if you can bring your awareness in between these places where you're tapping, into the chest and the ribs and the lungs and the heart. You may even feel a little bit of your diaphragm or your stomach. And then massage these two places. And then let's change sides. So left fingertips under the right collarbone, sliding out. Right fingertips to the bottom of the left rib cage, following it down, and then tapping the two spots. Feeling what things feel like. You might feel physical, muscular sensations. You might feel subtler, more energetic sensations. There might be an emotional response. Any of those things are possible. Any of them are okay and allowed. I would just recommend that you continue to feel what things feel like and continue to breathe. And feel and breathe and notice and feel and breathe and notice. And then massage. And then a deep breath in. and out. Rubbing the palms together. And now let's take our hands over our abdomens and just gently massaging our abdomens, our bellies, and the internal organs that are inside of our abdomens. And so however that happens for you, however you want to do that, however you're called to do it, just see what it feels like when you do it. Feel free to try a lot of different ways of doing it. And when you're ready, your hands can come around your waist to your lower back and the area of your kidneys, your adrenal glands, which sit on top of your kidneys, the lumbar spine, the sacrum, and the sacroiliac joints. And then we can draw our hands out, shake them out, and rub the palms together. Remembering to breathe. And then let's massage our arms. So beginning with the left arm, a little tap to the fingertips, up the outside and down the inside. And just find the way that works for you in this moment. And the way that works for you from moment to moment may change, and it may not. And that's okay. And then let's come up one more time and down, tapping the fingertips, changing sides, up the outside, down the inside, going with the flow. Noticing the alignment of your body, the movement of your breath, and the focus of your mind. And up one more time, down. Deep breath in and out. Rubbing the palms together. And then, wherever you are, you can either bend over and reach your feet, or you can bring one foot up at a time, and you can massage the bottom of your feet with your thumbs, and you can massage the top of your feet with your fingers, or if there's another way of doing it that works for you, you can do that. And if you'd like, you can follow the funnel down on the bottom of the foot, finding that deepest hollow with your thumbs, applying gentle pressure there. And then when you're ready, your hands can come up the inside of your legs and around your hips and down the outside. And again, just finding a way of doing this that feels good, sustainable, helpful. And then let's come up one more time and around and down and out. Deep breath in and out. Then we can rub our hands together one more time for now. Tuck our thumbs back into the fingers, let our hands rest on our thighs, and just take a moment. Feeling the alignment of your body, breathing through that alignment. Just noticing the quality of mind. And whenever you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. Are there any questions about anything? All right. So today we are going to focus a little bit on some breath practices. You know, breathing is always a big part of our Qigong practice, but today I wanted to kind of focus a little bit more on that, just because breathing is something that we're always doing all of the time anyways. And if we bring a little bit of consciousness to it, it can really become a very profound and useful tool. Oh, we have a question. Breath exercises for bone health. Well, so there is something called, so the question is if there are any breath exercises for bone health. And so, you know, there is something called bone breathing, which is really just about, you know, breathing and letting the intention be into the bones. And so, you know, it's very similar to any kind of medical Qigong practice. So any kind of Qigong practice that we're going to be moving and breathing intentionally and focusing the mind, that helps to turn on our internal pharmacies. You know, that helps our body to produce these endorphins and neurotransmitters, which do help to calm down inflammatory immune responses, that do help to restore and rehabilitate our tissues. And so there's the saying, Yi Dao, Qi Dao. So that means where the mind or the intention goes, the Qi goes. So Yi, Qi. Yi, intention, mind, Qi, Qi. And Dao is like the path, the way. So the way of the mind is the way of the Qi. So we do these practices. We can do any kind of breath practice, really. And if you want to then, as you're breathing, be channeling or directing that focus into your bones, you can do that, you know, and you can really get into a place where you're really feeling like you're absorbing the breath into specific tissues, whether that's an organ tissue, a muscle tissue, a bone tissue, a joint, anything like that. So, you know, there there are other practices out there that might be more detailed about and more like called a bone type practice. And those methods are fine, but that's not the only way to do it. So again, I think, you know, a big part that some of my teachers, it's kind of their mission maybe in the world, and I agree with it, is to really kind of liberate us from this idea that there is a specific way of doing it, and that you have to like find a certain teacher or a specific lineage and do it in a specific kind of way to get a specific kind of effect. So I hope that's helpful. And again, as we're doing our breath practices today, if you really want to kind of bring it into, make it like a bone breathing practice for yourself, there's definitely an opportunity to do that. And so we can see what happens. All right. So, so the breath, we're doing it all the time anyways, and it is such a powerful tool. You know, actually, I have a little thing. Let me share my screen here so that you can see this. All right, so hopefully you can all see this. So you can see on this left-hand side, we have the three treasures, the Jing, Qi, and Shen that we talk about all the time. You know, the kind of direct translations of these Chinese words into English is next to it, which would be vitality, energy, and spirit. In the macrocosm, these three treasures show up as the earth, earth below, heaven above, life in between. In the microcosm, it's like what we talk about all the time, the body, the breath, and the mind. So if you want to come back over to this left-hand side and you can see Qi. So what are the things that Qi corresponds to? Qi corresponds to energy. Qi corresponds to life, and Qi corresponds to the breath. So when we're doing Qigong, Gong meaning cultivation, Qi cultivation, we're cultivating our energy, we're cultivating our life, we're cultivating our breath. We can also see that, you know, the breath is really the link between the mind and the body. And so if we want to manage the energy in our minds or in our bodies, like if we have too much energy in our mind and our mind is just kind of going and going and we can't seem to get a handle on it, or we have too much energy in our body, and whether that's tension or pain, or maybe not enough energy in our body, and we're not feeling like we're very vital or that we have a lot of stamina. The way to address both the body and the mind is by addressing the breath. And so if we work with our breath, we can really have an impact on everything. And so, you know, one way to think about it in very simple terms is if you have too much energy, you can focus on your exhalation and moving energy and moving the breath out of you. If you don't have enough energy, you can focus on bringing the breath in and vitalizing yourself in that way. Or we can just focus on kind of regulating the in and the out breath, and that can help to just bring about balance and harmony into the body and the mind. And so again, these are practices, breath practices exist in every tradition, in every health tradition, everywhere in the world, throughout all time. And so again, it's something that we're doing all the time anyway. So why not kind of just bring a little bit of focus and intention to it and cultivate it, cultivate a relationship with it, and then really be empowered to utilize this tool that we have available to all of us. There's something else here. Oh yeah, this is a quote from Nikola Tesla, which I think is really wonderful. You know, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. You know, some of these subtler things. It's like how Buckminster Fuller says, there are no nouns, there are just verbs. You know, and thinking about the dynamics and the dynamic relationships between things. And again, what's one of the primary ways that we can kind of engage in those relationships or mediate and modify them, at least on a personal level, is the breath. So the breath is very profound, and we're going to do some work with it. And actually, if any of you are familiar with Andrew Weil, you know, he's one of the big kind of holistic, like medical doctors, you know, kind of, I think was very big in the 90s, like when alternative medicine was becoming a thing. And he's like an MD from Harvard. And I think he was there when Richard Alpert, Ram Dass, and Timothy Leary were doing their experiments. And so that, I think he was a subject in those experiments and had some expanding of his mind happen. And now he's real big into the world of holistic health. But I saw an interview with him and I thought it was really great because the interviewer was saying, you've traveled all over the world, you've studied a lot of different methods of medicine, whether it's mainstream or alternative, shamanic, all kinds of stuff. And so what is the one thing that you would recommend is the best medicine? What would you recommend that everybody experience? And he said, the breath, that was the thing that would do the most for everyone, most efficiently, most easily, most directly. And you don't have to go anywhere to do it. And you don't have to do anything other than what you're already doing, which I think is so amazing, right? It's like there's nothing to be done. We don't have to seek anything and find it. We never even had to learn how to breathe. We were born and we were breathing. It just happened. So, I think there's something magical about that. So now we can talk a little bit about these breath practices that we're going to do. I'll explain them. They're very simple. And then we can do them. And then once we do the breath practice and kind of have the effects of the practice, then we'll do a very simple, gentle Qigong movement practice. And then we can return to these breath practices afterwards. So we can just, again, have a full experience of this. And hopefully, we can then have these tools that we can use whenever we need to. And they can help us to wake up in the morning. They can help us to fall asleep at night. They can help us to manage difficult emotions during the daytime. They can help us to maintain health and vitality. They can help us to recover from disease and illness. They can do everything we would want them to do. It's really awesome. So very simple breath practices. And all that you need to remember is the numbers 2 through 5. So that's the steps that we're going to take. So 2-part breath is what we do all the time anyways, where we're breathing in and we're breathing out. That's the 2-part breath. The 3-part breath is a breath that we've done before. Many of you are familiar with it. It's called shi, shi, hu. So there's 2 inhalations and 1 exhalation. And when we think about the 2-part breath, the inhalations are small because we're taking 2 of them. So you just need to take 2 little sips. And usually when we're doing hand movements, it's like we inhale and then exhale. And so that's kind of how the breath is moving as well. So with that first inhalation, it's like we're filling up the lower lungs. The second inhalation, we're filling up the upper lungs. And then the third, we exhale out. So in, out. That's 3-part breath. So 2-part breath, just in and out. 3-part breath, in, and out. 4-part breath, we go in, and then we hold. And then we exhale out. So that's the 4 parts. In, hold, and exhale. And on that hold, we can hold for a little while. And so this would be a great place if you wanted to think about bone breathing. So say you take your 2 inhalations and you're holding your breath, and then you have this moment and you can think about maybe a chi ball in between your hands, but you can also, while you're holding the breath in and you have this expansion and this lifted quality through your body because you're full of the breath, you can really check in with your alignment and how your bones feel and like what it feels like in your shoulders and your necks and your arms, down through your spine into your legs. And really allow the breath and that expansion to refine the skeletal system and to create space and to vitalize it. And then we exhale. So that's the 4-part breath. 5-part breath, you probably see where we're going with this. It's in, hold, maybe not as long as we would be holding in the 4-part breath, and then exhale, that's 4. And then at the bottom of the exhale, we hold again. So that's 5. So in, hold, exhale, hold. And when we're holding, so again, we wouldn't hold as much on the inhale here, and then we have a nice, long, slow exhalation, and then we hold at the bottom of the exhalation for however long is comfortable. And often I find that I can exhale, and as I'm holding, I can keep on wringing myself out. So it's not necessarily like I'm not doing anything. It's like the breath, I can still squeeze some breath out all the way, so that then I can do another inhale. Typically at the end of the 5.5 part breath, rather than going right back into another 5-part breath, what's a nice thing to do is you in, hold, exhale, hold, and then do a 2-part breath. So a nice inhale and exhale, and then the 5-part breath again. So that way you don't necessarily kind of get exhausted by holding the breath in and out. And what's amazing about this is as we're doing these breath practices, we can have this experience of it. When we're done, often the body feels very stable and calm, and the mind almost feels like it's not there, like there's a little break from the thoughts that are constantly going on, which is really wonderful. And this is why in so many traditions, these breath practices typically are a kind of like an appetizer or a prelude to a meditation practice, where you do a breath practice and then things get still so that you can actually just sit in stillness, because I think for a lot of us, going from our day-to-day lives to a sitting meditation is like driving 150 miles an hour and then slamming on the brakes. The breath practice is a way of helping to just clear some stuff out and slow some things down so that then we can actually have an experience of meditation, not just sitting and, having the train rolling along. So are there any questions about that? There's a question. Yes.
Hi. I'm wondering if the different breath practices have a different focus or purpose. Would you use one for a particular thing or another?
Sure. Well, and so again, that's where the focus, it's not necessarily like one has a specific focus more so than the other. But if we're thinking about the breath as a way of managing our energy, and so just the inhalation and the exhalation, that's just a nice kind of like regulating energy, where it's like I feel a little stirred up. Let me just take a deep breath and kind of center myself, ground myself. When we're doing the 3-part breath, when you do the 3-part breath in a slow kind of way, that does tend to be a little bit more nourishing, kind of helps to build up some energy. If you do it a little bit faster, like we've done Shi Shi Hu before, where you're kind of really going 1, 1 out, 1, 1 out, and that helps to really clear out and move stagnation. So that's something. Then when we're doing the 4-part breaths and the 5-part breaths, I think those do have more of a profound effect on the mind and on calming things down, because when you're holding the breath on the inhalation and you're getting a stretch in your rib cage, that is literally releasing endorphins that help to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. And so that can be definitely very calming. That can help to even alleviate physical pain and also mental emotional pain. And then when we're doing the 5-part breath, it's kind of like the 4-part breath, but even more so. And also focusing on that exhalation. And then that really allows for the nitric oxide to build up in our sinuses so that as we inhale, we're getting a nice immune boost as well. So, so that's like a little bit of specifics, but at the same time, you can kind of play with your intention, and you can make each one of these be whatever it is that you need it to be. And that's also what I hope to encourage all of you to do is like, have these breath practices. These are different methods, but, again, the idea is having a formless kind of form. So we have these practices, but the formlessness is about the principles that underlie all of them, the principles of yin and yang, and the principles of the 3 treasures, or of intention, of Yi Dao and Qi Dao, so that then you can make these methods fit whatever kind of form you need it to in the moment. And again, like try different things and see what works in different situations. And they may all work for every situation. It's up to us to find out. Yeah. All right. So are there any other questions? Okay, so then let's begin. We're going to do the breath practice for a little bit, a couple minutes, and then we'll do our movement practice, and then we'll return to the breath practice at the end, and then we'll see how we feel, And I mean, breath practice gets you high, so there's that too. Okay, so let's get started. And you can remain seated for the breath practice, or you can stand. Either way is fine. It's up to you. I'm going to stand just because. So, whenever you're in whatever position you'd like to be in for our practice, you can just take a moment. And if you'd like to close your eyes, just so that you can tune in to the body and the breath and the focus and the quality of the mind. And so again, the three treasures. This is the beginning, the middle, and the end of all Qigong practice. So just taking a moment and just feel your feet on the ground or your seat on the cushion of whatever you're sitting on. Feel the alignment of your spine within gravity. Just notice the movement of the breath into and through your body. And notice how just by bringing the awareness of the mind to the body and the breath helps to bring about a Qigong state or an expanded state. So let's begin our breath practice with the two-part breath. Super simple. We're doing it already. You can use your hands if you'd like. You can inhale and exhale. And you can breathe in through your nose. And on the exhale, you can exhale out through your nose or your mouth. You can try each one, see which one feels better to you. And just find your own pace of breathing. Think about breathing easily, lightly, slowly, and deeply. Two more. Sometimes breathing can be like drinking water, just so nourishing. One more. Now let's move on to the three-part breath. So 2 small sips of inhalation, 1 exhale. Nice and easy. So in, and out. Just nice and fluid. Lower lungs, upper lungs, and a full exhale. As you breathe, see if you can feel more of your body participating with the breath. She, whoo. 3 more. Last one. Four-part breath. Same as the inhale. And hold it. Relax. Maybe your hands are facing each other like you're holding a chi ball. Let this expanded stretch of the inhalation bring your awareness to your alignment. And then exhale, nice and easy. And again, in, and hold. Check your alignment. Tuck your chin, bend your knees, drop your shoulders, and relax. 3 more. Hold. Relax. 2 more. Feel the bones of your feet on the ground. Feel your pelvis, the stretch of your rib cage, the engagement of your shoulder blades, tucking the chin, lengthening the neck. Exhale. 1 more. Hold. You can stand in something like horse stance, Wuji posture if you'd like. Feel the stretch of the inhale and let it go. Nice and easy now. 5-part breath. Same inhalation, in, and hold. And then exhale, nice and slow. And when you think you're at the bottom of your breath, you can hold, but continue. See if you can wring yourself out even more. Squeeze your abdomen around your spine, deep in your core. And then 2-part breath. In and out. 5-part breath. In, hold. Slowly exhale. Long and slow, easy. Holding at the bottom. Wring yourself out. 2-part breath. One more time, the 5-part breath. In, hold, and exhale slowly. Take your time. Bring yourself all the way out. Squeeze it out. If you think you're all the way out, see if there's any more. Hold it. Big inhale. And exhale. Let's do 2 more of those, 2-part breath. One more. And when you're done, just let your hands relax by your sides. And just return to a natural, easy breath. And feel what you're feeling. Feel the sensations in your body. You might feel some tingling in your palms or your cheeks. Maybe some lightness in your chest. And so that was maybe 5 minutes of breath work. I don't even know if it was that long. But there can be a very profound reaction that happens to just that little bit of breath work, whether that's a calming of the mind, whether that's calming of the sympathetic fight or flight nervous system, stimulation of the parasympathetic rest, digest, and restore nervous system. Just an overall sense of calm and stability. And so maintaining this nice expanded state, let's just do some very simple Qigong movements. Some simple movements that I like to do correspond with the 5 elements. So let's embody each of the elements. The first element is water. So let's move that way, nice and easy. So you can let your hands float forward, and on the inhale, they can circle back. And then exhale, bend your knees as much as feels comfortable, and inhale, rising up. And then exhale down. On the inhale, press the hands down, press down through the feet. And relax, exhale. Again, circle the hands back, inhale. Exhale, the knees can bend, the hands sweep down. Inhale up. And exhale. Inhale, press down through the hands and feet, stretch. Exhale. Again, in, out. In, out. In, and out. 2 more. In the classical book of documents, inhaling, it said that water, exhale, soaks and descends. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more time. Embodying water, embodying this idea of soaking and descending, nourishing and moistening, moving downwards. Inhale and exhale. You can let your hands rest by your sides. Just take a moment. The next element after water is fire. The book of documents says that fire burns and ascends. So embodying fire, the hands can come up to the chest. We can inhale here to start. And then exhale. Palms face out. Inhale, reach forward with the hands, maybe back with the head. Exhale, hands back to the heart. Inhale, arms out to the side. Exhale. Inhale down. Exhale, hands coming up, turning up. Inhale, stretch. And exhale out to the sides. Keeping the exhale as the hands come up, and then inhale, reaching forward. Exhale. Out to the sides. Down low. Hands coming up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Continue with the exhale and begin. In. To the sides. Like fire. Deep. And ascending. Again, last time. Forward. Wide. Deep. And high. And the hands can come down by the sides. Just take a moment. Breathe. Feel. After fire comes wood. In the book of documents, they say wood bends and straightens. So let's embody wood. The arms can float out to the sides, and this will be your left hand. So let's bring the left hand up. The right hand becomes a beak. And then let the left hand float down to the center. And then send the left hand out to the side. Reach. This left hand becomes the beak. The right hand turns up and floats up. And then down the center, bending, and then reaching out, straightening, to then bend again, bending and straightening, back and forth all the time, reaching, growing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. The breath changes. Finding the bend not only in the arms, but also in the knees, in the back. Letting the breath come natural. Rising up and down through the center, extending from the center out, reaching, stretching, bending and straightening. Last time. Out to the side, one more time. And then relax. Take some easy breaths. The next element after wood is metal. The book of documents says metal yields and changes. So Breathing up from below, breathe in. And exhale the hands forward out in front. Inhale the arms around to the shoulders. And then exhale the hands up. Inhale in. And exhale down. Again, breathing in. Exhale out. In. Out. In. Out. Two more. Last one. And inhale up to stand. And relax. The next element is earth. The Book of Documents says that the earth receives seeds and gives crops. So let's inhale the arms out to the side. And then exhale the middle fingers and the ring fingers to the upper dantian, the third eye. And take a moment to stand, relax, bend your knees gently, slightly tucking your chin, letting your shoulders relax. And thinking of this idea, these dantian, the upper, the middle, and the lower dantian, are considered to be fields of elixir. Bringing our intention to this area is like seeds, planting seeds in these fields. The earth receives seeds and gives crops. If we're planting seeds of intention and awareness, what will the crops be? When you're ready, you can inhale the arms out and up. And then exhale, the hands come around, middle fingers and ring fingers to the middle dantian. And again, feel your feet on the ground. Where is the weight in your feet? Is one leg more weighted than the other? Is the weight more in the front or the back of your foot? Maybe gently engaging your shoulder blades towards each other on your back to open your chest, slightly tucking your chin to lengthen your spine. Feel your alignment and breathe. Breathe through your whole body. Breathe into your bones. And then when you're ready, you can inhale the arms out and up. And exhale, hands come around, middle fingers and ring fingers to the belly button, the lower dantian. And again, standing, allowing the arms to be by the sides of the body, hands out in front. Heavy pinkies, weightless thumbs rising up out of the top of your head, sinking down through your legs into the earth. Planting seeds of awareness into the elixir field of the lower Dantian. And then you can fold your hands over your belly button. Bring your hands around your waist. And then down. And just stand and relax. And so we're going to move through the breath practice again. We'll do 2-part, 3-part, 4-part, and 5-part. And then we'll return to the 3-part breath, the she, hu. And we'll do that, and we'll pick up the pace of the 3-part breath. So we'll begin 2-part breath. Nice inhale. And out. We're going to do 3 of each breath. So again. Nice and easy, just a long inhalation, long exhalation. Three-part breath, not fast, go slow. Belly, chest, exhale. 2 more. Four-part breath, same inhalation. Hold. Feel the stretch, feel the expansion, check your alignment, check your mind, and exhale. 2 more. Big breath. Hold. Exhale. One more. Stretch. Hold. Feel your chi ball. 5-part breath. In, hold. Slow exhale. Hold at the bottom, continue to wring yourself out. Squeeze the breath all the way out. 2-part breath. Again, 5-part breath. Hold it, squeeze it out. 2-part breath. One more, 5-part breath. Slow exhale. Hold at the bottom, wring yourself out. See if you can squeeze even more breath out. See if you can hold it for just a little bit. The inhale will be there when you need it. Hold. 2-part breath. Let your hands relax by your sides. Take a couple breaths just here. And now let's do some of the 3-part breath. Shi, shi, hu. We'll start slow, and then we'll pick up the pace. So let's begin. Belly, chest, exhale. Shi, shi, hu. Shi, shi, hu. It's like a train picking up steam. Shi, shi, hu. Shi, shi, hu. A little faster. A little faster. Ten more. 5, 4, 2, 1. Bonus. Hold. 2-part breath. And relax. Feel what you feel. Feel the sensations. Feel the tingling, the spaciousness. Those sensations are the effects of medicine that we have just created for ourselves. So if you would like, bring that medicine, direct that medicine where you would like it to go. If you'd like to breathe it into your bones, you can. If there's a specific area of your body that could use some extra support, you can direct it there either with your mind, or you can use your hands to touch certain areas. You can touch them, you can rub them, you can tap them, you can squeeze them, whatever you need. Apply the medicine as you see fit. And whether that's an area of your body, whether that's an organ, whether that's a place where an emotion feels stuck, whether it's just through your whole body, again, deep in the skeleton or somewhere else in the tissues, or even just in the energy body, in the Wei Qi field. You can breathe the medicine wherever it needs to go. And then when you're ready, we can rub our hands together and massage our faces up and down, back and forth over the scalp, down the back of the neck and around, over the chest, over the belly, around the waist to the lower back, Drawing the hands out. Shake them out. Let's pat up one arm and down. Up the other arm. And down. Around and down. Up the front. And again, around and down. All right. So that's a very simple breath practice that, can serve as a breath practice, or it can even, this can be like the foundation that then other breath practices get built upon. But using this breath is a wonderful thing to do. It's a great way to start your day. It's a great way to end your day. It's a great way to begin a movement Qigong practice and end a movement Qigong practice. It's a great way to kind of ease your way into a sitting meditation practice if you'd like to do that. But again, using the breath is a wonderful way of turning on our own internal pharmacies. When we get that stretch in our chest and we're holding with the 4-part breath, there are stretch receptors around our lungs and around our hearts. And when it feels that stretch, endorphins get released, choline-based neurotransmitters that help to alleviate pain, that help to elevate the mood, that help to calm the nervous system. That happens when we do that, like literally. And we also, again, it can just help to just create a pattern interrupt. If our mind is going in a kind of pattern, or if our body is going into a type of pain response, and it just kind of follows a certain cascade of events, using the breath can help to interrupt that pattern, can help to shift where things are, can help to affect our energy and our frequency and our vibration, which is the whole deal. So again, this is something we're doing all the time anyway. It's things that we do spontaneously. How often does something happen to us, maybe something a little intense, and it's just like, oh, like we do that, so we're doing it consciously or unconsciously. So why not do it consciously? Make it more conscious, utilize it as a tool, get the most out of it. It's something that's available to us all the time. Literally, if it wasn't available to us all the time, we would be dead. So yeah, taking advantage of this tool and actually enhancing our vitality and our life and our resiliency and our well-being. So simple, just by breathing, so easy. You don't have to go anywhere to get it. Fortunately, hopefully not anytime soon, we don't have to buy air. We can breathe it, So yeah, so let's make the most of it. So before we finish, are there any questions about any of these things that we did? Okay, yeah, it's very straightforward, very easy. So I encourage you all to just play with this, explore it. This can be, again, just kind of a baseline, and then you can start to develop your own types of practices, your own forms, your own breath practices that then you can, teach the rest of us and teach me, and we can all learn from each other. This is a great thing to do. All right. So if you'd like a recording of this, please let me know. And also next week, there will not be class. I will be out of town next week. And then the week after that is to be determined. I am hoping that there will be a class. I'm thinking there probably will be. If not, I will let everybody know. But no class next week. Next week is the beginning of the 5th phase of spring. The name of that phase is called the clear and bright. So it's a time where, we're past the equinox, the energy is rising up. There is more sunshine than darkness flooding our brains, affecting our biochemistry. And with that comes this feeling of lightness and brightness and clearing things out. In China, this is the time of year where they tend to tend all of the gravestones because it's considered to be a time where you can help kind of, the ghosts of the past. they can rise up and move up into the heavens and kind of be clear. And so whether that's literal ghosts of the past or figurative ghosts of the past, this stage that's starting next week and that will go on for 2 weeks is a wonderful time for kind of doing the spring cleaning. Physical, literal spring cleaning, energetic spring cleaning, just kind of tapping into that energy of clear and bright and getting ready for a fresh new beginning, a fresh new year. So that's that about that next week. But again, no class next week. And then after that, probably. And if not, I will let everyone know one way or the other. So thank you all so much for being here, for breathing with me. We're all breathing together and being breathed by the universe. So it's a wonderful thing when we're doing all of that consciously. All right. Thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your day.